Heyo!
Hi, Marcus.
This is Amarilius Higgs with Mark Van den Einden. You know what? I love your name now. It flows off my tongue. Um, now that I've learned how to say it, and not be afraid of it. Not be afraid of it. You know, I mean that in all love.
And
Coming home to who you are. Yes.
you say it very well, Marcus. Very well. From the end, it's not an easy one. Yeah, it's a tongue twister to many.
Yeah. Those N, those D's, and the I's and the J. Van den
The
Einden.
I's and the J's.
All
So
right.
I'm glad I
Well,
have the audio is working. Just checking. Yes, good, perfect.
yeah, the audio is there, and we're keeping the podcast international. I think even I was in a different location last podcast, but you yourself, you're going back to the primary setting of the book. Mark, can you please let the audience know where you are?
I am in India, in Mumbai. Just arrived early this morning, actually 4 a.m. So, not fully tuned in, but enough to keep this momentum going. And like you said, yes, I am in the homeland of our dear friend Kenna, and yeah, it's a maybe you can call it some additional research going on, on what it's like to live and grow up in India. No,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. When you can see the juxtaposition, that's a beautiful word, of but well, let's not say it is that, but the university setting in Stockholm. Sorry, where it's
Zurich,
in
Zurich,
Zurich,
yeah,
Zurich, overlooking the lake, and then you have the busyness of the streets of Mumbai. Wow.
yeah, and the heat. It's quite humid.
It's worth noting that Mark turned off the fan and air condition just for better sound. So thank you for your
That's
sacrifice,
probably
Mark.
it. Yes, yeah, yeah. The fan does help.
So this week we are for those new. Uh, it's Marcus and Mark. We're going through our book, Coming Home to Who You Are, Education Re-Enlightened. It's a coming of age story with our dear friend Kenna, Rosie, and Alex with their mentor Amar. It is for young people as well as the mentors, teachers, and adults in their lives. I like to think of it as the reverse alchemist. You know, the alchemist had a dream. He went out to go figure out who he was, found something, and then he came back home. Our our protagonist is going into himself, learning who he is, trusting himself, and coming back to serve his community. If you want to pick up an advanced reader copy, you can go here to the QR code on your screen or go to beingatfullpotential.com/ coming home to who you are. All right. Today we're going to be talking about where technology and humanity intersect. Same mission, different context. Can you please tell us about the context? There's no meaning without context, Mark.
Yeah, it's always good to put a little bit of background to the chapter we're discussing. So Professor Amar chose to leave the university and kind of get onto this new path. He was really saying yes to his inner calling, and he took some time out to articulate his ideas, his vision, and ended up coming out as an article that got published by the Alumni magazine, and it ended up in the hands of a previous, somebody that he studied with, and Tanya McCoy, who is has become gone on to become an entrepreneur in the tech sector, and she picked up a copy of the Alumni magazine, read it, saw Amar's article, loved it, and it was like this perfect timing, right? The synchronicity we spoke about last week, how his vision was aligning with something that she was starting to feel would be very important for her startup. So she ends up in this chapter giving him a call, catching up, sharing old stories and reminiscing, and then finally asking him if he would like to come and work for her or with her,
Mm,
and to
mhm,
really
yeah.
put in place this vision for education, right? And how do you help universities and the education systems adopt these new technologies like AI and embed them into their curriculums, and what does it mean when it comes to student development and she was really inspired by the human aspect of it, right? So Amar really prioritizing the human development in this new context, and so yeah, her vision resonated, and now a new door is opening. So he chose to step out of one door, trusting that there would be a new door to open, and it did. It has happened, right? And it's happened in a very fluid and sort of I guess mystical way,
Serendipitous,
serendipitous way.
mystical. There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth noting two things. One, Amar and Tanya knew each other from university years. They weren't rivals per se, but they were had opposing views. And while Tanya was very technology based, Amar has always been humanistic, philosophical, in the humanities, and so on. And they were at heads, clashing in their younger years. But fate should have it where, yeah, they're aligning right now, and this is reflective of what's happening now. People are saying they need more philosophers. We need more people with the humanities in
Mm,
technology. I'll share a quote from Angela Duckworth that she gave at a commencement speech. I'll share it a little bit later on, but it's along the
yeah.
same sentiments of we are going to need more. Have you ever heard of pink collar work?
I haven't. No.
So there's white
What is
collar.
it?
White
Yeah.
white collar is business, blue collar is labor, and pink
Yes.
collar is the care economy.
Mm,
If you want to divide gender roles up by colors, but it's
mhm.
teachers, nurses, healthcare, um, the humanities, and I guess the arts. But pink collar, well, no, wouldn't be the arts, but people talking more about caring for other people. And it's interesting. Maybe technology is forcing our hand to actually care because a lot of the other stuff that we call work, thinking work, it's moving us down into our heart, if you will, out of our head, and hopefully into our hands to actually do action. So this is going to be our conversation today. Yeah.
Marcus, just to build on that, there was a quote that I came across, which I sent to you the other day, which I think is very appropriate for this um, topic as well. In an age where machines are getting better at being machines, humans have to get better at being more human.
Hmm.
Humans need to
Mm.
get better at being more human. And I love that. It's not either or anymore, right? It's not like, oh, I'm a technology person. Oh, I'm more of a philosophical person. It really is that these need to unite and come together, and we need to embrace technology, but we also need to further and more deeply embrace our humanity.
So I'm going to bring in a little bit of woo woo there, and then I'm going to invite you to answer a question. A good educator creates the context for learning to take place. That is where the learner will be stretched beyond what they believe, make an effort, fall fall short of it, or exceed, but they know they've made progress. I believe in higher forces, greater powers that have given us the context to say, okay, stretch your humanity. Who are you? They're giving they, he, she. It's giving us an understanding of us by asking us, okay, I'm testing you now. You have
Hmm.
this context. That's my own personal belief. The question I have for you, Mark, is what does it mean to be a better human? You have studied this for a while. You have a company called Being at Full Potential. Um, and you said in your quote, machines are getting better. Now it's time for us to be better humans. What does being a better human look like, sound like? What is that? Let's put it into practicality, practical terms. Okay. I don't know about those on the recording, but for me, Mark froze. Are you
I'm
still
just
with me, Mark?
back now. I'm back now.
All right, cool, cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you get the question or did I fall
Yeah.
out?
So, what does it mean to be a better human, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question. Um, what does it mean to be a better human? Well, I'll go directly to the main framework that we use at Being at Full Potential, which is the Human Potential House, and it has four states. And I believe that the more we live into those four states, the more we become more fulfilled humans, right? Better at expressing our humanity. And the first one is being aware, right? So there's an element of knowing yourself. What are my strengths, my talents, my purpose? Understanding that. Then there's being inspired, and that is really the capacity to step into play, into not knowing, into curiosity, into questioning things, into inspiration. So it's unlocking our creativity and our inspirational potential. And then there is being abundant, right? And that is the space that we create to nurture, right? It's like the soil and how fertile that soil is for ideas to grow, and its qualities like trust, acknowledgement, gratitude, generosity. These are the kinds of things that really create the conditions for potential to come through, right? So embracing the spirit of abundance. And then the fourth one is being in service. And it's really, where do we direct our energy? Do we direct it to something higher, something bigger than ourselves, right? Something that is meaningful, that is purposeful. And the more we can align and the more we can express those intrinsic human qualities, the more it becomes part of our life. I think the better humans we're going to be, right? So I think this being at full potential framework is actually a really nice way of encapsulating uh, what a good human is. I mean, there's other frameworks like the inner development goals, right? These 23 inner development skills, I think, also point to the depth of our humanity. And the more we express those qualities, those characteristics, the more we're going to be able to lead meaningful and fulfilling lives and impactful lives. So,
Yeah. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. To be inspired, to the last one is to express it
in
or
service,
direct
be in
it,
service,
be in service. The
be
second one
abundant,
is the abundance,
yeah,
and the third
awareness.
is the awareness.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, for all the frameworks out there, I'm thinking the VIA, Virtues in Action. There is the inner development goals. There is being at full potential. Even my own particular framework, um, but they all end in action, doing something for somebody else.
Hmm.
In positive psychology, we say other people matter. And even the work that I do, while there's a foundation of spiritual understanding for any walk of spirituality, but it's rooted in science. The fact that it's pro-social. We build trust in ourselves, in our community, in our higher understanding by understanding there is something working out for our well-being, and that's what it is to be human. We are social beings, so it's like, I promise to take care of me to be in service to you, if you promise to take care of you to be in service to me. And it's in the action of it. The
Hmm.
last thing what reminds me of is Marcus Aurelius, when he said, let's stop talking about what it means to be a good person.
Hmm.
Let's do it.
Yep.
He doesn't say let's, he says, he's talking to himself. Stop talking about what it means to be a good man, be one.
Yes. Yeah. We've often used the phrase "doing from being,"
Hmm. Hmm.
right? I really like that. It's action oriented, but it's coming from a deeper place of knowing ourselves and of groundedness and of care. And so our actions are emerging from that place, right?
Yes, yes, and I think that, and this is what it means to be human. those of us with a little bit more life experience further off on the path have to give an understanding to peers and those coming up, or just other people, letting them know who they are. I was thinking about this. When a person thinks they're critical and they think that you're less than and you're not capable of, when they let you know that, and a lot of marketing is like that, showing your deficiencies,
Yes.
you take on that identity.
Yeah.
And I was wondering about, like, why does some marketing resonate with me or not? And I was looking at another thing that was saying, hey, here's the beauty of it. Here's the joy of it. Pursue this joy and the expansion of it. Like,
Mm.
you don't have to regret where you are now. Accept it, own it. You are a creator, and step into something else. And I'm inviting you to collaborate to step into something else. And that really resonated with me. And I was just like, oh yeah.
Mm.
But how do us as creatives let I'm gonna pause. I'm getting excited now. This guy said, if the greatest thing is to know thyself, the greatest service you can do is giving a person an awareness of who they are. Like, if Mark, the greatest thing for you to is know thyself, the greatest thing for me to do is, hey Mark, understand how awesome you are through character, through evidence and examples, and then I invite you to step into something greater. You know, as a collaborator, I say, Mark, this is awesome. This is what I see. Do you want to create something else? Let's step into it.
Yeah. 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 You know, there's the saying, "What you focus on expands."
Or attention
Yeah.
goes, energy flows.
Yeah, and I'm a big believer in that, right? If we see potential in others and we acknowledge their strength, their gifts, what they're doing, uniquely well, then it's like you're fueling that. They're going to, or we are collectively going to step even more and more into that. And especially when it's still fragile, right? It's like sometimes we're going to take authentic steps in our lives, and if it gets sort of ignored or criticized, then it can die off very quickly, or it can set us back. But if it gets
Mm.
acknowledged and it gets reinforced and it gets um, yeah, acknowledged, then it's fueling it, right? We're going to be encouraged to do that again, and to do it again, and to do more of it. And I think that is the process also of becoming better humans, if you like.
Mm.
It's an individual journey, but it's very much a intra journey as well. Uh, Seeing the the greatness in each other. I believe that that's part of becoming better humans as well. You seeing
Mm.
things in me that I don't see in myself, or that I'm not capable of fully acknowledging it. I seeing
Mm.
things in you, right? So we're lifting each other up, and I feel like that is such an important part of it as well. Because if we just have to do this work on our own, we're gonna get there's gonna be a ceiling to how much we can do.
Yeah.
I feel like it's really important that it's done in
Collaboration,
together, right? In togetherness.
togetherness. Yeah. There's this quote from a book called Desire of Ages. It says, this master teacher, he never saw people for who they were, rather who they could be through his influence. He's accepting them where they are,
Yeah.
but he's holding a vision for something greater for them,
Yes.
even beyond.
Yes.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. And last week we had our friend Marie-José join us
Yeah.
from the French countryside, and I must say, like, of all the people I know, she is the master at seeing potential in people way beyond they can see in
Mm.
themselves. And
Yeah.
it's I know that for her, it's frustrating sometimes, because she sees it, she acknowledges it, she gives it to people, but they're not ready to receive it yet, or
Mm.
it takes time to be able to receive that. Uh,
Hmm.
so that's also a very fascinating thing, right? Is our readiness and our capacity to receive feedback that ignites the spirit, right? And that,
Mm.
yeah, it's its own journey.
Y- I mean, and if to say it in even simpler terms, you were talking about when you went to the conference in Italy, they were talking about we need to tell new stories.
Mm,
All a story is change happens and we give it meaning. Humans are meaning making machines. And a lot of people are reflective in the sense of, hey, this is what happened in the past. This is what it means. This is what happens. This is what it means. And they're stuck in that little gap of 2 week stories.
mm,
Visionaries are proflective, if you will, or they're saying, this is a change I can create, and this is the meaning I can create.
mm.
And that's why visionaries, those are the magical ones among us. And you create that story. It's like, hey, let's write this. Mark, like a year ago, I didn't know this would happen, but we were both proflexive people. We were looking forward and saying, let's craft this new story step by step, where it
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, yeah,
And even even it's our own. Not it's not. But step by step, step by step. That's how things reveal themselves. Um, for the next 5 minutes, because we're gonna end here soon. I want you just. Do we have enough time for that? Yeah. Share us about your experience in India right now, in regards to Amar and Tanya. They knew each other at a younger age in university, and then their paths crossed later on. So there was a quick question about a time when you reconnected with a person from your past and discovered you had both evolved into similar directions. So there was still alignment, but the alignment came later on.
yeah,
That's something young people don't realize. But if you stay true to yourself and
yeah,
you understand this person stays true to themselves, alignment may not be now. It's not a no. It's a not yet.
yeah,
Can you tell us a bit about your experience now that you said
yeah,
that you
yeah.
mentioned?
Yeah, so it's a perfect example actually of a relationship that um, a partnership that I'm in now with a person in India, so Amrita, and I'm actually staying at her place right now, and we're going to be delivering a workshop next week, and this is what brought me to India. So many things are manifesting now, um, and probably I would say the last 6 months really, a lot has happened. But we've known each other for 7, 8 years now, and when we first met, we already had a strong resonance. There was already this sense of yes, I really like what you're doing, and I really feel connected energetically, and you know, but and the sense of like one day we're going to do something together. We both had that feeling, but we also knew that at that point was not the right time, and so it was really just parking it, and there would be maybe 1 or 2 years would go by where we wouldn't even speak, and then we'd have a chat, just check in, and that would be enough. And
Mm-hmm.
then years went by, and then finally we came to a point where something happened, and it was a specific meeting we were in, and that was like the trigger. It was like, yes, now, let's do something. And it was very intuitive, and we both knew it, right, at a very deep level.
Mm-hmm.
But we also knew that it was coming. We could feel that at some point it was going to come. But it required patience, right? If you like the metaphor that we use in the book, the stars hadn't aligned yet, right? We
Mm-hmm.
could see how they would align. We could feel that they would be aligning, but they hadn't aligned yet. So, it's where, yeah, you just appreciate what is, and and be patient and continue. That was also very important. Is the way I looked at it is that I wasn't ready yet.
Mm-hmm.
That there was
Mm-hmm.
still a path I needed to walk on my own, and
Yeah.
that's how I was really looking at it. And I just kept moving forward on my work, the things that I needed to do to move forward. And as I did that, the things started to to align. And now it's just, yeah, it's just a wonderful collaboration, partnership, and so many things are coming through that feel, again, mystical in nature, serendipitous, but at the same time, it's not surprising because we could
Mm,
already feel that many years ago.
yeah. I, for me, what sticks out from that experience and my own lived experiences, yeah, it's not yet when those first
Mm.
crossings, but stay true to who you are and stay on the path long enough.
Yeah,
Like you'll refine yourself, and they'll refine themselves.
yeah,
And when it does happen, it's like, oh yeah, this is what it was meant to be.
yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful.
It is,
Well,
you know, and just to tie it back to this chapter, right? Because that's kind of what's happening with Amar and Tanya, right?
hmm hmm
I
they
don't know if
had
they would,
friction.
yeah,
Go on. Sorry.
yeah. I'm not sure if they would describe it in the sense like that they already had this sense that something would happen many years ago, but it is a great example of how friendships and acquaintances can sort of diverge and then come back together and um, yeah. So I think it's beautiful to reflect on our own lives and see, when do these things happen, and they happen more often than we realize, right? I don't think we
Mm.
always step back and acknowledge them, but it is amazing how often we meet somebody, and then a few years later we end up doing something together, and yeah, that's how it works.
One note I'll put in there right before we end. What keeps you? What keeps her? What kept Amar? Is trust yourself.
Hmm.
That's another common theme we come back to in the book again and again.
Yeah.
Trust yourself. Yeah. Well, thank you, Mark Van den Einden.
Thank you, Marcus Aurelius Higgs.
uh, co-authors on Coming Home to Who You Are, a coming of age story that re-enlightens education. Education is still the same. New mission, different context as we enter into the age of AI. If you'd like to get an advanced reader copy, you can go here and scan the QR with your phone if you see a screen, or go to beingatfullpotential.com/ coming home to who you are. I need to put in a slide here that ends with the music because Maria Jose, I know she loves that music right at the end. But until
Yeah.
next week, when we come home, until we come home to who we are, until next time we come home, be blessed. I'm signing
Until
off.
next time. Thanks,
Until next.
Marcus.
Wonderful, Mark.
Bye bye.
Peace.